My journey through every winner of the Booker Prize for Fiction continues, this time with The Testaments by Margaret Atwood, and of course the rather infamous double win. I feel like I've said this in every episode of this series so far, but 2019 was a scandalous year for the Booker Prize for Fiction because it did something that had been rendered like illegal in the Booker voting rules and hadn't happened for decades, and that is a double win. The Testaments, which is a sequel to the iconic 1985 Atwood classic The Handmaid's Tale, had to share the prize with Bernardine Evaristo's Girl, Woman, Other. Now, just to be clear, I don't think there should ever be a double win for the Booker Prize, which I think is the general consensus, because ultimately it cheapens the win for both writers and books. And I think what was upsetting, especially this time, was that Bernardine Evaristo was the first woman of colour. She was the first black woman to win in like the 50 plus years history of this prize. And yet nobody was talking about that landslide achievement. Instead, they were talking about the novelty of, oh, two people have won. And it feels weird as well when it's Margaret Atwood, because she's such a living legend. She really didn't need to win. She had already won the prize already for The Blind Assassin, so it did feel a bit out of pocket that she suddenly got to share, and they had to share the prize money as well. Like, they had to each get 25,000 instead of giving Bernardine Evaristo the 50k, because to be honest, I do think Bernardine Evaristo is more deserving. I think Girl, Woman, Other is not only an objectively better book, but it also relates more to the sort of theme of the Booker Prize, which is sort of looking at different stories throughout the Commonwealth and like the human spirit. And I don't mean to detract from the brilliance of The Testaments, because I do really love this book as well. I mean, The Handmaid's Tale is so incredible. It's become this huge deal thanks to the TV show and on social media. And I get what she was doing by like recentering the narrative around herself with this sequel, even though it does sort of devolve in places to just fan service. You still like that behind the curtain look at all the different factions, seeing the perspectives from like the aunts, the Marthas, the Econom women, all of those different factions, and seeing how it imploded and how history repeats itself. I don't know, I just prefer Girl, Woman, Other personally.